Ask Truett Cathy, Ingredients for Success. From the $10,600 initial investment in the Dwarf Grill in 1946 to the multi-billion-dollar success of Chick-fil-A today. Mr. Cathy invented the chicken sandwich in 1963, and by 1969 had established 2 Chick-fil-A restaurants. He was a man who followed a resolute value system founded on biblical principles. At a very early age, he was influenced by a verse from Proverbs 22:1 that reads, "A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and loving favor rather than silver and gold." Mr. Cathy believed that you could be successful and honest at the same time. He followed a business philosophy based on the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. He believed that you should treat your customers kindly and be courteous. He believed that you should never, ever compromise on principles. So where did it all begin? Hard work and saving money. Mr. Cathy came of age during the Great Depression. Through his experiences during this time, he learned that if he were to attain anything of worth, he would have to work hard and save his money. Mr. Cathy began shortly after World War II with a restaurant in Hapeville, Georgia. He and his brother Ben were completely committed to the business. They even worked with the construction crews while building the restaurant. One former employee of the Dwarf House, Mr. Eddie White, had this to say about Mr. Cathy. He did everything from preparing food to washing dishes to scrubbing floors. It was a small operation, and Mr. Cathy was there every day. I was impressed with the manner in which he treated people. He respected us, and we respected him. And no job was too large or too small for him to do. Mr. Truett understood that in order to succeed, he would have to start small, be committed, and make the necessary sacrifices. Mr. Truett once said, "To succeed, we knew we had to start small and grow slowly." This is where so many startup companies today make their mistakes. Dreamers dream big and they want to reach their goals quickly. There's nothing wrong with big dreams, but my experiences tell me that we're more likely to reach our dreams if we climb with care and caution, putting one foot in front of the other. To some, this may be the biggest sacrifice of all, giving up the dream of instant success. In 1960, Mr. Cathy's second restaurant, the Dwarf House in Forest Park, burned down. This crisis became known as an opportunity in disguise. It was the first in a series of events that led Mr. Cathy to take another look at the chicken on his Dwarf House menu. From this opportunity was birthed the great chicken steak sandwich, which was soon to be renamed the Chick-fil-A sandwich. Initially, Mr. Cathy intended to offer the Chick-fil-A sandwich to other restaurants to sell as a product on their menu. However, he soon realized that the restaurants would not have the same commitment to quality that he desired. Mr. Cathy understood that consistency is one of the most important aspects of the food business. So Mr. Cathy decided that the only way to control the quality and consistency of the sandwich was to sell the product himself. Thus, the first Chick-fil-A restaurant was born. The first Chick-fil-A restaurant was opened in 1967 in the newly established Greenbrier Shopping Center, Atlanta's first shopping mall. 4 years after he perfected his chicken sandwich, Mr. Cathy established 4 tenets by which his company would run. The company would not sell franchises, but would form joint ventures with independent operators. Chick-fil-A would build in only major shopping malls. Future growth would be financed mainly from within, and the chief emphasis would be on people. Mr. Cathy understood that the kinder you are to people, the more productive they will be, and the more customers you'll be able to attract. In 1982, the company started to feel a firm decline. This after they were just few weeks from completing construction on their new corporate headquarters in Atlanta. Mr. Cathy called a meeting of the executive team. After much introspection and a question of why, they established their corporate purpose. Chick-fil-A corporate purpose: to glorify God by being a faithful steward of all that is entrusted to us, to have a positive influence on all who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. With this new focus, Chick-fil-A began to once again flourish. And in 1986, Chick-fil-A opened their first standalone store in Atlanta, Georgia. Now these standalone stores make up almost half of their restaurants. Ingredients for success: Mr. S. Truett Cathy created a culture that sets, expects, and rewards high standards and performances. Mr. Cathy learned to balance the pursuit of profit and personal character by applying biblical principles. Chick-fil-A is what it is today because of its product, people, and purpose.